It's Shiva who's there in the beginning. And then he emerges as the lingam of fire. So very interestingly, a lot of people worship Shiva lingam, but they don't know what it means, right? So the Shiva lingam actually represents a lingam of fire. It's a pillar of fire. And this pillar of fire suddenly emerges, and there's Brahma and there's Vishnu, and they don't know where it's coming from. So both of them, they decide to explore the ends of it. So Vishnu takes the form of a Vara, and Brahma takes the form of a swan. And he flies up, and Vishnu digs deeper into the lower half of it. But none of them can find the end. So finally they meet at the midpoint, and that's when Shiva emerges from it. That's called the Lingudbhav Shiva. So some of the southern temples have this depiction of Shiva emerging from the lingam. So that's where Shiva tells them that I am the Supreme One and I created you. So there are different versions, but again, a very beautiful point to understand is that all the Purans refer to different kalpas. So for this, I'll have to go a little bit backwards into what a kalpa is and what the timeline is, right? So this universe is just, according to our scriptures, this universe is just one of the multiple universes. So our scriptures actually talk about a multiverse. This is not the only universe in the world. Earth is not the only place that is inhabited. There's millions and millions of inhabited worlds out there. And these, so according to Srimad Bhagavad Puran, there's a spiritual universe, which is almost like a clear sky, blue sky. And on one corner of it, there's this cloudy place, which is the material universe. It's 1/4 of the entire portion.
Like a quadrant.
Like a quadrant. One quadrant is the material universe.
So like Dragon Balls. Yes. Anyway, go on.
So 3/4 is the spiritual universe, where Krishna resides, the Vishnu forms reside in the Vaikuntha planet. And 1/4, one quadrant is the material universe, material creation, I would say material realm. Okay. Within this material realm, there is a form of Vishnu, which is the Karanodakshai Vishnu. Okay. This might get a little complicated,
go on.
But this is the easiest way to understand. Okay. There's this Karanodakshai Vishnu who's just lying in that material realm. And every time he exhales, there's a universe that pops out of his pores. So there's millions of universes coming out of Karanodakshai Vishnu's pores. Okay. Each of this universe again has a form of Vishnu inside it, which is the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, from whom emerges Brahma for that universe.
Okay.
And that Brahma creates all the lokas within that universe. But imagine that this entire universe exists only for one breath of this Mahavishnu, the Karanodakshai Vishnu. So this entire process of creation by Brahma, of multiple yugas coming and going, all of this is just a single breath of Mahavishnu. That's how grand the vision is. So within this universe, when Brahma starts creating, he generally, for our universe, the story is told, we don't know how it is for the other universes, but for our universe, so Brahma has a lifespan of close to 311 trillion human years. Okay? And currently, do you know where we are right now? So this is the 51st year of Brahma,
of
our current Brahma.
311 trillion.
So that's in the human years.
Okay.
That is equal to 100 Brahma years.
Okay.
So 100 Brahma years is the lifespan. Brahma lives for 100 years.
Okay. So we are at 51 out of 100.
We are at 51 right now. So it's close to 155 trillion human years. If you convert it in human years. And currently we are in the afternoon. So we are in the 7th Manvantar. So each day of Brahma within this year, 100 years of Brahma, each year has 360 days and night, and each day is called a Kalpa. Okay. So in this lifespan of Brahma, each Kalpa has had different entities being created. Lord Vishnu has appeared in different avatars. It's not just the 10 main avatars that we know. There are various avatars that have happened. These different beings have come and gone, and Brahma has recreated, everything again and again and again, multiple times. He's been doing it every day. Every morning Brahma starts creating, and every night it gets dissolved. Again, every morning he starts afresh with some inputs from the previous experiences. So each Puran belongs to a different kalpa, and in each kalpa, because creation happens differently, sometimes Brahma emerges first, sometimes Vishnu emerges first, and sometimes Shiva appears first. That is why the stories are different. A lot of people don't understand this, that the Purans belong to different time periods. And in each kalpa, the creation began in a different way. So for current day of Brahma, which is the Varaha Kalpa, Vishnu Puran was narrated in this Kalpa. So Vishnu Puran actually is relevant for this Kalpa. A lot of other Purans are telling stories that happened in the previous Kalpas or future Kalpas.
Different time periods.
Different time periods. So that is where the stories differ. But primarily, it's Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, who are the Holy Trinity. They are the Holy Trinity of Hinduism, the Trimurti. They are the highest level of gods.
The concept of the multiverse theory, rooted in scientific perspectives, explores the possibility that beyond our known universe, there exist numerous other universes, each with its own laws of physics and unique properties. This idea, although it ventures into the realms of what might once have been considered purely speculative, has gained traction in modern scientific discourse. One of the key pillars supporting the multiverse theory is the field of quantum mechanics. This branch of physics, delving into the subatomic world, suggests that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously. Extending this principle to universes, it can imply that for every possible outcome at the quantum level, a new universe emerges to accommodate each possibility. Another scientific framework that lends credence to the idea of a multiverse comes from the theory of cosmic inflation. This theory posits that in the moments following the Big Bang, the universe underwent a rapid expansion. Some theorists suggest that this inflationary period could have given rise to multiple disconnected regions of space-time, effectively creating separate universes. String theory, a complex framework in theoretical physics, also provides a basis for the multiverse concept. In string theory, the fundamental constituents of reality are not point-like particles, but rather tiny, vibrating strings. The way these strings vibrate determines the fundamental properties of particles. String theory requires multiple dimensions for its mathematical consistency, and in some models, these extra dimensions could manifest as separate universes. The multiverse theory, while fascinating, also raises profound philosophical and scientific questions. One major challenge is the issue of empirical testing. As of now, there is no known way to directly observe or interact with these other universes, making the multiverse theory more of a theoretical construct than a testable scientific hypothesis. Despite these challenges, the multiverse theory continues to be a topic of active research and debate. It pushes the boundaries of our understanding of the cosmos, inviting us to consider a reality far more vast and varied than what we observe in our own universe. This theory not only expands our scientific horizons, but also touches on deep philosophical and existential questions about the nature of reality and our place within it. Implications and theories on parallel universes. The concept of parallel universes is a fascinating and complex area of study that intertwines various scientific theories and ancient philosophical ideas, including those originating from ancient India and similar ancient cultures. This concept has evolved over time, integrating insights from physics, cosmology, and even aspects of what might be considered metaphysical or esoteric knowledge. At its core, the idea of parallel universes proposes that our universe, the vast cosmos we observe, might not be the only one. Instead, there could be multiple universes, each existing alongside our own, potentially with different laws of physics, different histories, and maybe even different versions of ourselves. One scientific framework supporting this idea is quantum mechanics. In quantum theory, particles don't have definite states until they're observed. This led to the hypothesis of the many worlds interpretation, which suggests that all possible outcomes of quantum measurements are physically realized in some world or universe. In this view, every time a quantum event has multiple possible outcomes, the universe splits, creating distinct realities for each possible outcome. Another perspective comes from the field of cosmology, particularly the theory of cosmic inflation. This theory suggests that in the first fractions of a second after the Big Bang, the universe expanded at an incredible rate. This rapid expansion could have caused bubbles to form, each developing into separate universes with potentially different physical laws. String theory a candidate for the theory of everything in physics, also contributes to the concept of parallel universes. String theory posits that the fundamental particles we observe are not point-like dots, but rather one-dimensional strings. These strings vibrate at different frequencies, creating the particles we observe. In some string theory models, different vibrations might give rise to different universes. The implications of parallel universes extend far beyond the realm of pure science. Philosophically, they challenge our understanding of reality, identity, and the nature of existence. If parallel universes exist, then there might be versions of ourselves living entirely different lives, making different choices. It also raises questions about determinism and free will. Culturally, the notion of parallel universes has been a subject of speculation and inspiration in various ancient traditions. For example, in ancient Indian philosophy and texts, there are references to an infinite number of universes, each with its own cycle of creation and destruction. This ancient wisdom, in many ways, mirrors the modern scientific quest to understand the nature of reality and our place in it. Despite its intriguing nature, the theory of parallel universes remains speculative. It is challenging to test or observe parallel universes directly, making them more of a theoretical construct than an empirical reality as of now. Nevertheless, this concept continues to inspire scientists, philosophers, and dreamers alike, as it opens up endless possibilities for understanding the mysteries of the cosmos.
There is no distinction between free will and determinism. We think there is because of our conceptual confusion. At the level of what truly exists, there is no such distinction. What nature decides to do is both what it desperately wants to do and what it must do. What nature does is a result of what nature is. Nature wills what it wills because it is what it is. And it can't will otherwise without being something that it is not. But of course, it is what it is, so it wills what it does. There is no external environment beyond nature to impose choices on nature. What nature chooses to do comes out of itself. Therefore, it comes out of its being. It's a result of what it is. So nature wills what it must will given what it is. But it does make choices. It couldn't make different choices because it isn't different. Nature is what it is, not something else. It does make choices, but its choices are a direct consequence of what it is. What they mean by a free choice is that the choice they make, let's say my free will choice is a choice I make, so it is determined, but it's determined by me. It's determined by that which I identify with. I don't identify with my brain activity. I have never seen it. I identify with my conscious inner life. I identify with my preferences, my tastes, my goals, things that I experience from within. So if my choices are determined by my preferences, my tastes, my goals, then they are free will choices. Now, there are two arguments why even this doesn't hold water. One is, there is no you separate from nature. A you separate from nature or a me separate from nature is merely nominal. It's an artifact of language. It follows the structure of language, but the structure of reality is not the structure of language. Language is defined for convenience, for communication, and not to capture and reflect the ontological structure of nature. That's not what language is about. So there is no you separate from nature. There is no me separate from nature. So there is no choice I make that is determined exclusively by the linguistic me. And we all make choices. Determinism does not say that we don't make choices. It's silly. We are always making choices. Every choice I make, for me, is a moment of self-discovery. It's a moment when I reflect and think, I am the entity who is disposed to make this choice right now. Every single choice I make is a moment of self-discovery. It's an opportunity for self-insight. It's a revelation, a continuing revelation of what I am, what I truly am.
You are unique. If you exist, then all that is needs you to exist, for without you, it would not be all that is. So allow the first statement to be an honoring of your existence, your uniqueness. You are who you are for a reason. Your mission, your purpose in life, no matter how you may choose to express the mission, no matter how you may choose to express the purpose, is fundamentally to be yourself, your unique self as fully as you can, which is why it is so important to act on your passion, since that energy is representative and your physical translation of your core frequency, your true self. It's for the purpose of honoring your existence and the fact that you are worthy of that existence, the fact that you belong in existence, or you wouldn't exist, because creation doesn't make mistakes. Insistence in your life on a particular thing that must happen or something will go wrong is actually a form of resisting what could be there much better than you even imagined. So allow the resistance in your life to melt away. Allow synchronicity to bring you what you truly need, and relax the idea of the negative ego's insistence on what it wants, so that you can truly receive what you actually need that will benefit you best in your life. No insistence, then there will be no resistance. Let yourself flow, because every one of you has your own current in the river of creation. The current already knows where you need to go. Let yourself go with the flow. Resistance will have you swimming upstream against the current, and it will create difficulty and struggle and pain in your life. So relax, go with the flow. You will wind up exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there. Perfect timing. You are the only one that can decide what is really true for you. If you explore yourself with honesty and clarity, you will know the difference between what really is your excitement and what really is your fear-based anxiety. You will know what direction is really true for you. And by choosing the thing that is really you, that is actually the best way to honor everyone else, including your parents, even if they don't necessarily believe that your choices are of great benefit to you. If you have explored and done your due diligence within yourself to know as best as you can at any given moment who you truly know yourself to be, which doesn't mean you won't change, which doesn't mean you won't know more later, which doesn't mean you won't get better, of course you will. But at every given moment, you are a perfect representation of who you are at this moment. And in the next moment, even though you may change and learn more and do things differently, you will then simply be a different perfect, not more perfect, a different perfect. You do not live in nature. You do not live with nature. You are nature. You are an extension of that which is natural. There really isn't anything that is supernatural or paranormal or metaphysical. It's all natural. It's all normal. It all has representation in your physical reality. You are an expression of nature. And knowing that and acting like you know it is what will also help you make all the connections to other expressions of nature that are important for you to experience your reality in a holistic way, rather than a jumbled collection of parts that seem disconnected one from the other. Absolutely, every moment is orchestrated through synchronicity. Nothing happens by accident. Who you may wind up next to in the so-called traffic jam on your freeway is not an accident. It may not necessarily always have a lot to do with you consciously, but you are there for a reason, perhaps to serve what someone else might be going through. It's all an orchestration. You are that powerful. You may not know it, but you are that harmonized. You are that powerful. So powerful you are unconscious of it. You create it to be automatic in the background, so you don't have to overthink it. Just start knowing that no matter where you are, no matter where you wind up, no matter with whom, no matter what's going on, it's happening for a reason, and that reason is because you are part of an orchestration that may have a lot to do with you, a little to do with you, but always has something to do with your participation being needed in that orchestration in order for it to happen in the way it needs to happen for all the participants at that particular moment. If you could only see, really allow yourselves to feel the beautiful orchestration, the powerful orchestration that you all are.